Hey there, and welcome to my channel. I am Brittany Flammer, a financial coach, and I share videos here on my channel all about budgeting and money saving tips to help you and your family. I like to share our budget at the beginning of the month. I share our planned budget, and then at the end of the month, I share the numbers, what we actually spent, because life never goes according to plan, right? And the budget is no different. These videos do not get nearly as many views. I don't make like any money off of them for ads, but I like to do them because it shows people what it actually looks like in real life. So I'm going to go ahead and I will pull up my spreadsheet. I like to use a spreadsheet, but even if you don't use a spreadsheet, the same principles apply. You should be evaluating. Planning the budget's only like part of it. Actually following up and seeing how you did and making adjustments is just as, if not more important than the initial planning of the budget. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. But like I said, it doesn't matter if you use a spreadsheet or a budgeting app, whatever. Doesn't really matter to me. Starting with income, my husband is salary. So usually he gets exactly what we plan. But this month he got a lot more than planned. So he's salary. We just plan on his normal income, but he had to do an extra 32 hours for something. It had to be, I can't even remember what he did it on. It had to be done throughout the year. He just submitted it. And so I knew that sometime this spring he would be getting that extra pay. I didn't know when, so we did not plan for it. We had talked about where we wanted to spend the money when he got it. But I didn't incorporate it into our regular budget. I still, even if we're going to make extra, I like to live off of our regular budget and then choose to put that money towards something. So down below, I'll show you where we're putting it. My business made $2,413, which is awesome. You can see I only budgeted $100 because we try to live off of my husband's income. And then anything extra I earn is supposed to go towards fun stuff. Right now, it's all going towards finishing up this garage addition that we are doing just because I want it done. So it's not very fun to me. It kind of annoys me. I'd rather be taking a trip, but we just want to get it done. So everything I earn right now is going towards that. And then interest, we have money in several different online savings accounts or high yield savings accounts. So we know that they earn interest. Every month they earn some interest, but you can see I didn't budget any because whatever money we earn, it gets deposited into the online savings account at the end of the month. We just let it sit in the account where it is. So we don't really account for it. I mean, we get it, it is income, but we don't plan on it. And then birthday, I knew it was my birthday, and every year my mother-in-law and my parents give me money, but I kind of forgot about it when I planned the budget. So I got $100. So our total income was a lot higher than normal, which is good because our expenses were really high. Let me show you how we went over in several categories. Tithing, we spent a lot more than we had planned because we made a lot more, and we do this off of our gross income. So my husband made a ton more than normal, and then I made a lot more than we had planned. So we donated more. So total donations, we spent $500 more than planned. Our mortgage is fixed, so that's the same every month, $13.76. Electricity, $23 per month. We are on an average payment plan, so it will be the same until sometime next year. They'll reevaluate it. Natural gas, same thing. We're on an average payment plan. Once or twice a year, they evaluate how much you're using and readjust your payments. But currently we're paying $91 a month. That just makes it easier for budgeting. It's more consistent month to month. And then when we do, so I was paying 70 something and they adjusted it, it was 90. So it's not like you're going from 200 one month to 20 the next month. It's a lot easier when it's averaged out. Our city bill was supposed to be $115. It was only $109 because we did add green waste for our yard stuff. And it's $5 a month, but I didn't call until the very end of the month. So we now have that, but it wasn't included on this last bill. So our next bill will be a little bit higher. Life insurance is fixed at $11.10. This is my term life insurance. Our car insurance, it fluctuates by a few dollars every few months. So it was $104.79 for the month. Phone bill is $30. My husband and I are on another family member's plan, and our daughter has a prepaid plan. So we paid for a year of hers up front, and it was really cheap. Internet, we're on a current special. We upgraded our plans and are on a special, so it's just $55 for the month. Gas for our cars. So we went over. I budgeted 200. We spent 274.25. So we went over by about $75. So this is why I like to evaluate, because I see we went over. So now May's here. So maybe I should adjust our budget for May. Prices of gas have gone up, or maybe we're just driving more. So I should adjust those numbers for May. I like to look at the end of the month and then plan for the next month at the same time. I've already planned our May budget because I do it early so I can upload it and share it with you guys. And I think I did increase it a little bit, but I don't think that much. But we have 3 vehicles. One we drive to most of the time. And then the third one it's like our truck. It's like every few months we fill it up because we don't drive it very much. But we just filled up all 3 vehicles at the very end of April. So we should be fine for May. Piano is fixed at $50 for the month. Preschool fixed at $125 for the month. Groceries, I went over, but only by $3. I feel really good about this because I went through and organized our food storage, our pantry, all of that stuff in like re-inventory to figure out what I have on hand so I can use up what I have on hand. So I was trying to use up stuff on hand, but then when I was doing that, I noticed a lot of gaps. So I replenished about 50-pound bags of rice and some wheat berries because we like to grind our own wheat for bread, stuff like that. So I also bought a lot. So I spent a lot stocking up on things, but I didn't spend nearly as much normal on the weekly stuff because I was using up stuff we had in our freezer. So I feel really good about only going over by $3. Eating out, we spent $23.78. This was not any fun eating out. I was sick. And so my husband picked up pizza and something else for the kids one night. So that I didn't have to make anything. And I had strep, so I wasn't eating anything because it hurt so much to swallow. Miscellaneous, the little stuff that comes up. I don't even remember what this was. Entertainment, $52. This was higher because once again, I was sick for like a week. So I think I took my 5-year-old to the dollar store and let him buy several of our kids to the dollar store, let them just buy stuff because I didn't feel good. And it was total bribery to get them to do stuff. Kids money, our kids do jobs. We printed out new job charts for the summer. And so it's the same stuff on the chart, but because it's new charts, they're excited. And our youngest he's like gung-ho about getting paid. So our kids do the chart throughout the week. They mark it off every day. And then we do payday on Saturday. But our youngest is only 5. So I do payday for him every single day. As soon as he gets all of his stuff done on the chart, I pay him that day. Because he can't recognize the long time frame as well as the older kids. The older kids, once a week works for them. So we paid out $27 in jobs, but then they have to pay for some of their expenses. Like if they get invited to a birthday party, they have to pay for the gift. Because I kind of hate going to stuff like that. So if they really want to go to it, then, and we have 5 kids, so it's just too busy. We can't go to everything. So if they have to pay for the gift, they're only going to go if they're a good friend and they really want to go. So that eliminates a lot of stuff like that. I kind of love it. Babysitter, $10. I think I paid my daughter a couple different times to like watch the kids while I laid down for an hour or two. So total expenses, $3,140. And then debt, we do not have any outstanding debt except for our mortgage, which we've already accounted for. If I had debts like credit card or even car loans, you could put it here and track it. But then moving on to our savings, this includes our long-term savings like retirement, as well as our short-term savings, like our sinking funds. I lump them all together. So our emergency fund is funded, so we didn't budget to put anything in, but it is earning interest. So we earn $70.16 in interest. So I'm just letting that sit in the account. So now we have about $16,300 in our emergency fund. My husband gets his personal money is $25 and money for his bike maintenance is $25. He did not spend anything. He hardly ever spends anything. So he has $785 in there. My fun money, I budgeted $25. So I got that $25 plus the $100 for my birthday. I did buy new running shoes and something else. So I now have $184 in my fun money account. Life insurance, we budgeted at $68, put $68 in. So we're now up to $418. House maintenance, we budgeted $125, put $125 in. We spent $164. There's always house stuff. And I feel like spring and summer, at least where we live, that's where we spend most of it. I'm trying to remember what we spent it on. I mentioned organizing our food storage and pantry. Oh, I should share photos. I organized it, got bins, so it looks much nicer. So I spent money on the bins, got like some potting soil for some planter boxes, things like that. So we have 141 left in there. Vacation, we budgeted 150. We put in 367, and I'm trying to figure out why. We put in the 150. We earned some interest, and then we got reimbursed. We booked some lodging for something and then ended up not going, so we canceled and got reimbursed. So we now have $1,070 there. House updates, we didn't budget anything, but we put 3,300. So everything we earned from my job, the just over 2,000 went into here, as well as the extra income my husband earned, it went into here. Because I mentioned we just want to get it done. So we put 3,300. We spent almost 6,000. We bought, we got quotes for siding, and it was insanely expensive to have people do it. So we're doing it ourselves. So we bought some of the siding, not all of it. We're doing 2 different types. We bought one type and we just got a quote on the other because we were debating between some sizes. So we bought some of the siding. We bought all of the soffit and fascia to put up, as well as we put a deposit down for our garage doors so that they would order them for us. So we now have $23,400 left in that account. And it's amazing how fast that goes. Clothing, we budgeted 75, put 75 in, bought a pair of shoes for my husband. So we have $30 left. I can get by on spending very, very little on my kids, but when it's adults and husbands that care, it's a little more expensive. Gifts, 25, we budgeted, put 25 in, spent $10. I don't even remember what. Just something for teacher appreciation for one of my kids. We were combining, that's what it was. We were combining to do a teacher appreciation gift for one of the classes. And I just got notification for the other classes, so I'll be adding some more stuff. But we have $83 in there. Medical, we budgeted 100, put 100 in. We're at 1,364, and our next child will need braces probably in the next year. So that's what we're saving up for. Car expenses, we budgeted 75, we put 75 in, but then we spent 210. We had to register all of our vehicles in the month. 2 of them had to do where we live. We have to do emissions. So we did emissions test for 2 vehicles, registered 2 vehicles, and a 3rd vehicle, we still have to register, but we never drive it. So it just hasn't happened yet. We drove it to get gas the other day. And that's when we remembered we need to register it. So we now have 234. So in May, we will be registering that 3rd vehicle. Christmas, we didn't budget anything, so we didn't put anything in. We have 163 in there, which would not be enough for Christmas, but we use all of the cash back from our credit cards. We let it pile up throughout the year, and then that's our Christmas budget. So between that, we have with all the house projects, and my husband is a high school teacher and is taking a bunch of students to Europe for the summer, not for the summer, for several weeks. And so we paid for all the credit or for all of the flights and lodging, and then they paid us. So we got a ton of points with that. And between that and our just regular cash back, we have enough for Christmas. So we're not putting any more in. Kids extracurricular, I keep increasing this. Every month I feel like I am increasing this because they're just getting expensive as they get older. 300 is what we budgeted. We put 300 in. We spent 448. If I scroll down here, let me see. Okay, I had to pay rec fees for one team. My daughter's doing some clinics and clinics and camps over the summer. We have a volleyball tournament coming up that I had to book the hotel for. And then another daughter's doing a race. So it added up. My screen just froze. That's awkward. It added up to whatever that adds up to, 400. Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. Okay, added up to 448. So we only have $36 left in that account. So like I said, I feel like we just increase it every single month. We contributed 400 to my husband's Roth IRA. We contributed 400 to my Roth IRA. We contributed 100 to some mutual funds. So you can see here we have $12.80 left for the month. I'm just going to leave that in our checking account. That's a small enough number. I like having a buffer. Occasionally I go over a few dollars. Occasionally, like this month, if I'm under, then that helps the buffer. So I would like to stop sharing, but my screen is frozen. I don't know what happened. If you have any questions, I'll try to end it, but awkward. Sorry, people. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will answer. And I'll try to exit out. So hopefully this ends.